The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Ski Sundown in nearby New Hartford, Connecticut, offering bundled lesson packages including rental equipment and lift tickets. Online registration available at skisundown.com. Winter made better.
Welcome to the Fabulous 413. I'm Khalees Smith.
And I'm Monty Belmonte. Later in the show, our weekly chat with U.S. Congressman for the 2nd Congressional District, Jim McGovern.
And we've got double live music happening today with the Deep River Ramblers, who are launching a new series this weekend at the Iron Horse in Northampton, Happy Valley Bluegrass Church.
And our other live music guest comes from a long line of jazz vocalists, and her own work takes those origins to higher heights. Emily King has won the Holly Prize, been nominated for a Grammy 4 times for as many albums, and has toured and collaborated with the likes of Chaka Khan, Sarah Bareilles, Nas, Jose James, Robert Glasper, and so many others. But perhaps most importantly for us, co-wrote and performed the end theme song for Steven Universe Future.
Her latest album, Special Occasion, is a testament to perseverance and rediscovery after one's own foundation is shaken. And tonight, February 12th, she'll take the stage at the Drake in Amherst, where local favorite Kimaya Diggs will open Emily King Day, and on guitar, accompanying her, Randy Runyon. Thank you both for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you guys so much for that intro.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, let's start out with a song.
Okay, this is a song called This Year. It goes like this. 1, whoop, 2, 3. Spent the year trying to get you to love me, put your needs high up above me, all night talking on the telephone, listening to you crying about being alone. Spent the summer trying to get you to care, bought new jeans and grew my hair. Call me up when you wanted me around, but when I needed you, you could never be found. So this year's gonna be about me. Never will I ever know the reason to doubt me this year. This year's gonna be about me. Never will I ever know the reason to doubt me this year. This year, spent the year trying to get your attention. All my miles just to make a connection. Running around just to get to you. When I showed up, you had something to do. Met your mama and all your friends. Didn't know it was all pretend. Lifted you up, you were bringing me down. But this year's gonna turn them tables around. So this year's gonna be about me. Never will I ever know the reason to doubt me this year. This year's gonna be about me. Never will I ever know the reason to doubt me this year. This year, I'm loving, I'm feeling myself. Not worry about anyone else. My mind, my body, my health. This year, I'm turning it all around. Nobody gonna bring me down. My vision, my mind, my crown. This year, I'm taking what's mine. I'm putting it on the line. Not gonna waste no more time. I'm coming to claim my shine. I threw away all your I'm ready to get my fix. This year gonna hit my stride. I'm living it my best life. This year's gonna be about me. Never will I ever know the reason to doubt me this year. This year's gonna be about me. Never will I ever know the reason to doubt me this year. This year, I'm loving, I'm feeling myself, yeah. Not worry about anyone else. My mind, my body, my health, yeah. This year, I'm turning it all around. Nobody gonna bring me down. My vision, my mind, my crown. This year.
Yeah! Emily King, who's playing at the Drake in Amherst tonight, getting an assist right there
With
for
the
Live
song
Music
that...
Thursday by Randy Runyon, and an assist from her mom and Chihuahua, who are in the other room.
Shout out to
Worth
Kim
noting.
Gillespie and Sunny.
Nice.
Thank you.
Speaking of animals, I know we're going to talk about your music, but I have to ask about your chickens, if they're doing okay and if they're still not laying for you.
You're so nice. You're so sweet to know about my chickens. That's so funny. We just were talking about chickens this morning, and they have just started laying again.
Congratulations!
Thank you. It's yes, they had stopped, and then the winter they go dormant, and then it's spring is coming because they start laying eggs.
Yeah, and it's been really cold, so people with chickens have been having tough times.
Yeah.
And you're in the Catskills, is that?
I'm in the Catskills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I worry about the chickens because it's like -degrees and they're out there in their coop.
Right.
So they do have a heater. Anyway, I could go on forever about the chickens.
I just wanted to make sure that they had turned around for you.
Thank you. Thank you for asking.
So you got your career start kind of getting taken under the wing with another chicken analogy, I guess.
Yeah.
Bravo. From Clive Davis, right? The icon, Clive Davis. But I've read that that period of time musically for you wasn't as fulfilling as maybe what you're doing now, kind of being put into an industry, sort of factory farmed. Back to chickens.
Look at you in the puns. Oh my goodness.
There's so many.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
So,
at least somebody is, Emily King.
Yes, it was just a very formative time. I was in the business of I wanted to be a star, famous. That's what I grew up learning. I was like, you have to be famous and a star. And so I was fortunate to have that experience. And yes, I got to really, it's almost comical, the things that you experience in that large factory scenario. But it led me to just really appreciate just doing things that you're proud of. That's really, at the end of the day, what matters, because nothing else lasts except for, anyway. Yeah. So, yes, but I'm 40 years old now. I was signed when I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And so it's been a lot of growing for me. And now I have the pleasure of playing with people like Randy Runyon, who's such an incredible guitarist, and making music with my friends, and that's just having fun, and just music gives us the opportunity to all come together, and I'm just appreciating that more than ever.
You grew up in a musical family, including your mom in the next room, who recently also put out an album.
Thank you. Yes.
Talk about how the music that you get to and got to do with your family still influences the way that you make arrangements now.
Thank you. I grew up with the American Songbook and Ellington and like so many great. I just heard them singing these songs our whole childhood, and I think I didn't realize later that I would then try to emulate these songs with the arrangements and the melodies, and I love melody so much, I think, because of my upbringing and storytelling. I love the when the melody and the lyrics come together in like the perfect way. It just, you see people's faces change. You feel the emotion coming out, and I make myself cry. I think that's what we do, right? We use music as a tool for our own emotions. So they taught me everything, and my brother also is an incredible musician and singer and dancer, AC Lincoln. I got to shout him out because we are both, whether we like it or not, carrying on this tradition of show business, which it's a blessing. It really is. But you have to laugh at life. It's never what you think it's going to be. But here we are today, so I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, we're playing the Drake in Amherst tonight with our friend Kimaya Diggs.
Yeah, shout out to Kimaya Diggs. She's amazing. We heard her for the first time last night.
Yes.
Yeah. She played with us in Portsmouth.
Oh, great.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's wonderful.
Really
She's great.
Awesome.
I want to say how much I love the video for By You, I Mean Me.
Titus,
which is just, it's a whole journey, but like it kind of mimics that like heartfelt like range of emotion that you're talking about and trying to make like those particular songs true. And there's a really I feel like this particular album, your latest album, is this interesting sort of chrysalis. Like it's almost like not quite the butterfly, but definitely sort of encapsulating something that's about to change.
Is it almost like an egg that was laid? And
hatching.
It's getting ready to hatch?
Hatching egg. A hatching egg
you started
and
it.
A butterfly.
You started it.
That is very... Thank you for noticing. I think there's been personal transitions for me that I was going through a huge breakup with the person that I made all my music with. And that was the most recent album, was us getting through an album together, and it was like almost a sweet goodbye, almost, in a way. And now I am hoping to hatch soon. I'm waiting on the hatch. Maybe I could use a couple cracks just to help me out. Someone told me that the chicken is not supposed to help the egg, the person in the egg, the chicklet.
Oh yeah, human beings aren't supposed to
the
help.
little no
the
chicken, the
birds,
mother's
they don't
hen.
help.
If they help the chicken get out of the egg, then the little baby dies.
Oh, wow.
That the little, what are they called? Chicks.
Yeah. Chicks.
That they have to get out on their own, which is such an amazing metaphor for life, right?
With their little
Don't
egg too.
Please fact check. Don't take my word for that. If you see a chick trying to get out of the egg, you might help them. I don't know.
I would recommend against it. Let nature take its course. And when making music, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Oh, look at you.
We mentioned that you did
impressed.
you did the end theme song for Steven Universe, Future. Tell us about how that story came out. Did you have a
wow.
relationship with that cartoon
Or
beforehand?
Rebecca
The
Sugar.
incredible
Rebecca Sugar, yeah.
Rebecca Sugar.
Yeah.
She was just such a brilliant person. She reached out to me. She just reached out to me. I had not heard of the show.
Uh-huh.
I don't watch television. So I was just like totally oblivious, and I was so pleased to discover this beautiful show. And she wrote the song, I will say. That, and I sang it. I sang it from my garage, and then all of a sudden I get all these people say, I discovered you on Steven Universe. So thank you, Rebecca. It's awesome. Yes.
But one of your songs does get featured in the series too. In
Thank
addition,
you.
yeah,
Can't Hold Me.
Yeah.
The roller skating scene.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Emily King is playing at the Drake in Amherst tonight with our friend Kimaya Digg, and she's playing right now here on the Fabulous 413 with Randy Runyon on guitar. Let's hear another song.
Okay, thank you. This is. I feel I should play By You I Mean Me because you brought it up.
No.
Okay.
Stick to your own plans.
Okay,
it's all good.
We'll just do the celebratory song. It's called Special Occasion. It goes like this. 2, 3. Grab your neighbor and tell a friend we're going out on the weekend. City lights and an attitude. Look out, yeah, we coming through. Got front row seats at our favorite show. Table set, call Emilio. Raise our glasses and have a toast. Leave them troubles, watch them going. Oh, it's only love that we've got to give. Only life that we've got to live. It's only right till the day ends high. Like a wasted time is amazing life. Special occasion, right? Like a raisin tides, never faded wine. Yeah, we raise it high. Special occasion. Come on, baby, living it up. I celebrate it, raise your cup. Say we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna do it all night. Come on, baby, living it up. Say yeah. Come on, raise your cup. Ooh, ooh. Can you put your hands together? Come on, baby, living it up. Say yeah. Celebrate it, raise your cup. Say we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna do it all night. Come on, baby, living it up. Say yeah, hey, raise your cup.
Emily King.
So good. Clappers.
And
Shout out to my
Randy
clappers.
Runyon.
They got rhythm in here.
We do.
Yes.
We have both been in bands, or
Okay.
one of us is still in several.
Speaking of Randy, I've got a question for you. So, like, Emily writes these songs that have such strong, like, really, like, great melodies, and I'm a person who prefers to sing harmony. So like it's fun to hear her songs and hear the harmonic lines that get sung with it. What's it like singing harmony with Emily?
I mean, she writes just the best harmonies. It's so much fun to support and be underneath it, and it's just, it's a real joy.
But you're
great.
touching on all these things because we were trying to envision the next album, and we were saying in the car, like, it'd be good to have more two-part harmonies. You know, just like where you can and not only on the chorus, because historically I'm like, oh, harmonies on the chorus, but harmonies all throughout the song, right?
Yeah,
We all need a little more harmony, and you sounded great.
Thank you so much.
And
I
those
appreciate
harmonies
that.
right there for sure. I also say check out your Tiny Desk concert, which was a
Thank
lot of
you.
fun
Oh, that was so
to see
special
as
for
well.
us.
And your CBS Sunday Morning,
Oh.
which was a little bit heartbreaking.
It was.
Telling the story of the breakup that you referenced
Anthony
before.
Mason, who I love, he just has a way of like making you cry. And,
Yeah.
you know.
And then we cry when we watch
And
CBS
you're
Sunday
like,
Morning.
I
It's
am
like
on camera. How
guaranteed.
dare you?
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Well, Emily King playing at the Drake and Amherst tonight with Kimaya Diggs. Thanks again to Randy Runyon on guitar there, and your mom and your Chihuahua.
Oh,
and
thanks
the
to
other.
both of you for having us. It's really sweet.
Our pleasure. Our
It
absolute
is-
pleasure.
It is indeed our pleasure.
Later in the show, more music as we hear from the Deep River Ramblers, led by Jim Henry, about the upcoming series Happy Valley Bluegrass Church, which starts this weekend at the Iron Horse.
But first, to take the temperature of all the issues heating up in D.C. with the Congressman for the 2nd Congressional District, Jim McGovern.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
It makes the leaves on the trees fall.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by the UMass 5 College Credit Union, dedicated to creating access to financial well-being for local people, businesses, and communities. Insured by NCUA, umass5.coop. The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by the UMass Amherst School of Public Policy, offering in-person and online graduate programs in public policy and data analytics. Admissions now open at umass.edu/SPP.
Where did you end up watching the Super Bowl?
Here. I mean, I had a meeting here at 8 in the morning on Monday, so I get back and just watched it alone in my Washington place. Yeah, I didn't think it was a great game, but I did like Bad Bunny, so.
Yeah, that was the only 15 minutes that I wasn't just filled
Right.
with agita and crying and throwing things across the room.
Yeah.
It's time for our weekly check-in with U.S. Congressman from the 2nd Congressional District of Massachusetts, Worcester's own Congressman Jim McGovern, and the big news that has been dominating all the headlines this week and keeping me from having adequate sleep because I doom scroll right before bed and look through what is being released from the Epstein files. And this week, certain lawmakers, a small group of lawmakers, received unredacted versions of the Justice Department's files on Jeffrey Epstein, and be they Republican or Democrat, when they come away from looking at those files, they look like they have seen a ghost, or maybe in this case, a demon. Have you had a chance to look at these? Are you part of that small group?
I have. All I have seen is what has been made public, and I've talked to my colleagues who have gone. And, and I'm going to try to coordinate with them if they need somebody to go and to read some of the files that haven't been released. I'm happy to do that. But the one thing that's clear, and that is that Jeffrey Epstein was a monster, and a lot of very rich and powerful people of all political persuasions, of all backgrounds, were friendly with him and visited him on his island and were entertained by him. And it's really, really disturbing. But I'll tell you what really has been the most depressing thing to me, and that was yesterday. When I saw the Attorney General of the United States testify before the House Judiciary Committee, and in the audience were survivors, were victims of Jeffrey Epstein's cruelty, and she wouldn't even turn and look at them. She wouldn't acknowledge their presence. She should have turned to them and said, "I'm sorry. And if this process has not been, all that you wanted, we're going to make it better. I want to listen to you. I want to hear you. But you matter. You are the most important people in this whole saga. And we need to make sure that there's justice for you." And she couldn't even be bothered, to turn around and just even nod at them. Again, this is beyond politics. It's just so depressing that this is happening in this country. It seems like if you're well connected and you're well off and you're rich and powerful, you have a circle of protection around you, but everybody else gets nothing.
That Pam Bondi hearing was somewhat unhinged, and she did go on the attack against both Republicans and Democrats who want justice to be served with these Epstein files. She attacked both Republican Tom Massey and Democrat Jamie Raskin in some heated language. But what should the general public do right now? What is going to happen? There is clearly all of this evidence. It doesn't necessarily mean they're guilty, but there is evidence implicating so many different people, and yet the wheels of justice aren't turning. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is in the files many times, and there is zero response from the Oval Office, the executive branch, who is supposed to carry out justice and the law. What should we do?
And here's the interesting thing about Howard Lutnick. I mean, he previously said that he had cut off ties with Jeffrey Epstein many years earlier than he had. And in fact, we find out that after he said he cut off ties, several years later, he, was on his yacht with his wife and his 4 children, and as he says it, his nannies, plural, and they made a stop and had lunch with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, like, how could you not remember that? I mean, of course he remembered it, and he lied about it and hoped that nobody would give a damn. And that's the deal here. Look, I believe the public pressure works. I mean, don't forget, we couldn't get these files released. We couldn't get Speaker Johnson to even schedule a vote on the Epstein files. So we launched a discharge petition, and we get 218 members of Congress to sign it, which forced a vote on it. And then they tried to derail it, but then when it became clear they couldn't, then we had all but one Republican vote for it. And then the pressure was on the administration because public pressure was so intense, they couldn't veto it. So they signed it. Now we have to keep the pressure on to make sure they comply with the law, that they release everything. And the Justice Department really needs to do its job. And if there are examples of criminality that they can prosecute, they need to do that. And quite frankly, the people who took advantage of underage girls, they ought to be called out. And I want to say that, in the House of Representatives, the Oversight Committee ought to be doing its due diligence. I get it. James Comer doesn't like the Clintons, so he goes after the Clintons. But the Clintons are not only agreeing to testify, they're insisting, and I hope that they get their wish granted, to do so publicly. When you testify in private, they cherry pick what they want to release. If the Clintons come and testify, why doesn't Trump testify? Let's have Howard Lutnick up here and grill him as to what he knew. And again, I'm sure that in these files is a lot more detail than just, somebody visited the island. And to the extent that there's criminality, the Justice Department ought to go after those people.
When Daniel Ellsberg was set to release the Pentagon Papers to the press, the brakes were pumped, and there was a threat that Congress people would read the Pentagon Papers on the floor of the House of Representatives. Given how much access to the unredacted files certain Congress people have had, do you think that that is a potential play, that we may end up hearing these names unredacted read in the halls of Congress?
I do. I think that is an option. I mean, the Justice Department is insisting that you can't take copies of anything out of the Justice Department, but you can certainly take notes and take down the names. And we've seen, I think Ro Khanna read a number of names on the floor. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Look, this is not going to go away. And that's the message that the people in power and the people in this administration need to understand. This is not going to go away. The truth is eventually going to come out. And, we're going to try to push it to come out as soon as possible. It's the right thing to do. This is stunning, what we're learning. And Jeffrey Epstein's kind of reach is beyond what I couldn't even imagine. And by the way, it's not just people on the right. There are people on the left that are being mentioned in these files. In college, I was a big reader of Noam Chomsky. I'm depressed that he's mentioned in these files, right? But, the truth is the truth. And we need to have full accounting here.
Speaking with U.S. Congressman Jim McGovern, McGoverning with McGovern, Congress may be reclaiming some of its authority, given how strange things have been going with the so-called balance of powers and the way our government works, because yesterday the House voted to cancel Trump's Canadian tariffs. It is in the purview of Congress to be in charge of tariffs. Tell us how that happened and if this is something that looks like it's going to be the way going forward when it comes to how the tariffs have been working from the Oval Office.
So what the Speaker of the House has been doing, with the cooperation of all the Republicans up until yesterday, was he's been sneaking language in various rules that we pass that basically would prohibit Congress from being able to vote on the tariffs, even though there's a process here that would allow us to vote and force us to have a vote on that. And he keeps on changing the rules, saying, no, we can't do that until this day or that day. And the other day, he wanted to say you couldn't bring up tariffs until the end of July. And then we're on recess in August, so you can't do anything in August. Anyway, we defeated the rule. He had tucked in a rule that included a whole bunch of other bills, and we got a handful of Republicans to vote with us to defeat the rule.
In the Rules Committee?
Well, we did it on the floor. In the Rules Committee, forget about it. The Republicans are all in the bag. It was on the floor. We brought the rule to the floor. And then, so we were able to bring up this privilege resolution on the tariff with regard to Canada. And I think we had 6 Republicans vote with us. And so we were able to basically say we believe that the tariff should be ended. We still have to work out kind of the differences between what we did and what the Senate did, and then it has to go to the president. He'll probably veto it. But here's a significant thing. It is a signal that the president's grip on absolute power is beginning to slip. These Republicans who voted with us are doing so because their constituents are being hurt by these tariffs. Their constituents are yelling at them that they're tired of paying more to be able to give Trump the ability to maintain these tariffs, which are getting us nothing. I mean, the American people are paying for that. This doesn't end it, but I think it is symbolic of the fact that his grip on power is beginning to slip. And I'm hoping that we see more Republicans decide to display a little bit of independence and stand with the people of this country rather than just cower in fear over, what retribution might come their way if the president doesn't like the way they vote. You should also note, I just want to point out too, during those Epstein hearings in the Judiciary Committee yesterday, Pam Bondi came with a binder with opposition research on every member in that committee. I mean, think about it. So she didn't come to answer questions. She came to, recite opposition research on whoever had a question that she didn't like. That's very Nixonian. That is outrageous. I mean, and again, what is the whole point of that? The whole point is to intimidate people into saying what they believe or asking what they're concerned about. The same thing on the tariffs. I mean, Trump said yesterday that he's going after the Republicans who voted the wrong way, in his opinion, on the tariffs. But the more that do, the harder it's going to be for them to go after everybody. The more that show some independence, the more we can constrain this White House, and the more this president will not be able to threaten individual members of Congress into voting his way, even if it's against their conscience.
Speaking with Congressman Jim McGovern, one place where Congress does not look like it's going to come to terms is in the funding for the Department of Homeland Security, which will run out of money tomorrow. If it runs out of money tomorrow, does that mean ICE is shut down tomorrow? And
No.
Is there an urgent effort to try to make sure something happen if that is the case?
No, I mean, the unfortunate thing is in the big ugly bill that was passed several months ago, the Republicans put a whole bunch of money for ICE in that bill. So, yeah, ICE wants more money. And if we don't pass this appropriation bill, they don't get that money. But the deal is that there is still money that has already been appropriated in that awful bill that cut Medicaid by $1 trillion and cut SNAP by $200 billion. So they have that. But look, the deal is that things have to change. I believe that ICE should be dismantled. We've lived for 200 years without it. We don't need it. We got to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, we want secure borders, and we want to make sure that people who commit crimes, whether they're documented or undocumented in this country, are held accountable. ICE is out of control. And here's a little side note. We voted on this bill, the SAVE Act, which is supposed to, protect our elections from people who are not able to vote from voting. In that bill, it requires all states to turn over all of their voting files to Kristi Noem at the Department of Homeland Security. Really? I mean, the woman who's killing people in the streets of Minneapolis, she wants access to all of our voting files. And by the way, if this SAVE Act were to pass, I passed the House yesterday by a couple of votes. If it passes the Senate, they want them now. They want them before the midterms, even though primaries in some states are starting in 2 or 3 weeks. They want them now. And what's that all about? What it's about is if they don't like the result of the election, they can claim that undocumented immigrants voted or there's undue interference. They'll challenge the election results in states that Democrats win in. This is a very, very dangerous moment in our history on a whole range of levels. But we have to keep our eye on these upcoming elections and make sure that this administration can't overturn them.
Got a listener question from Denise who says, I'd love to hear what Representative McGovern has to say about this story that just appeared on WAMC, which is another public radio station that's not us. And it's a question about something going on in the Berkshires, which is not your district. But let's for a moment pretend you're Congressman Richie Neal, whose district it is. And first off, Congressman Neal, thank you for finally agreeing to be on the show. It says
good.
a Berkshire Armored Vehicle Company has become ICE's largest contract in Massachusetts. A company that produces armored vehicles has become the top recipient of ICE dollars from Massachusetts over the first months of the second Trump administration. We were just at the Triplex in Great Barrington, and they have seen these armored vehicles and ICE arrests right outside that theater. If you were Congressman Neal, what would you be doing in reaction to this giant contract going to this Berkshire-based company?
Yeah, well, I hate to speculate on things that are in Congressman Neal's district because I have great respect for him, and I don't want to do that. Let me just say, in general, I'm opposed to any ICE contract in my district. I mean, I do not believe we should be cooperating or benefiting from dollars that go to an agency that do what they do. I would be engaged in peaceful protest. I would be writing letters to the editor. I would be highlighting the reasons why we need to not just reform ICE, we need to abolish ICE. We need to start all over again.
Speaking with U.S. Congressman Jim McGovern, your former aide, Natalie Blais, who is now my former state representative, stepped down last month, and the race is heating up for the 1st Franklin District. Natalie Blais' aide, Corinne Coryat, is running. Just announced yesterday, Jonathan Creek, who is an aide, a staffer for U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, and the Whately Town Clerk, independent Amy LaValle, have now all announced that they're running. Do you care to weigh in on that election at all?
I think it's premature to, but I mean, I'll just take this opportunity to say that I love Natalie Blais, not only because she worked with me for many years, but I thought she did a great job as state representative, and she's now at UMass and is going to do some great things for that institution. But I don't know everybody. I know Natalie's aide, but I don't know everybody who's running. But I think good people should want to run for office because we need good people. So we'll see how it all plays out, but I'll be watching it carefully.
A quick civics lesson for me and our listener, Kelly. You and your office, as a federal representative, don't deal with unemployment in the Commonwealth, or do you?
Well, we do when people call the office, even if it's a state issue. I mean, we don't tell people, oh, just go call your state rep. I mean, we try to make sure we can help connect people to the right office or the right person, and sometimes we do follow up. So if there's a question, about unemployment, state unemployment, or about anything state-related, you can call us, and if we don't have the answer, we'll connect you to the right person.
Got it. So I will tell Kelly, who has a sad story about waiting for unemployment after believing to be unlawfully terminated last August and is still waiting for this money. But I was pretty sure this is not within your purview, but I will connect them to your office.
We can certainly make an inquiry to the relevant state agencies on her behalf.
You, Congressman, come on the March for the Food Bank, 43 miles, and have done so for many years now. But your wife, Lisa, joined another march at the end of it earlier this week, the 2,300-mile March for Peace that these Buddhist monks undertook from Texas to Washington, D.C. I know that your wife joined former Speaker Pelosi and Representative Jeffries. What was her reaction to being at the end of that peace march that has been inspirational to so many people across this country?
Yeah, no, she wanted to go. I mean, I was hoping to go, but we had a rules committee meeting at the same time. We were dealing with this, terrible attack on voting rights. So she said, I'll go in your place. But she thought it was inspiring. There were hundreds and hundreds of people that were gathered along the streets in Washington welcoming them. Again, their message is peace and love and justice, and let's bring people together. And, we need to be kinder to one another. It's kind of the antithesis of what Washington is all about right now. And I think people showed up, including a lot of staffers and including, you mentioned Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and others, because it is inspirational. She thought it was an incredible privilege to welcome them here at the end of their march.
I think the most meaningful moment ever in the history of our doing the March for the Food Bank is after we had visited Lucio Perez, who was living in sanctuary in a church in Amherst during the first Trump administration, and came into downtown Amherst when members of the Tibetan community, who are Buddhists but maybe not monks, all draped us with these prayer shawls. I was so moved and emotional by that, and so I can't imagine how great it must have felt for your wife Lisa to be part of the end of that Buddhist monk journey yesterday.
She was incredibly thrilled.
I'll ask you the final question. What's giving you hope this week, Congressman?
I'm going to say the survivors who were of the Epstein horrors that were in the Judiciary Committee yesterday. They sat through all of that crap. yesterday that Pam Bondi espoused during the hearings, but they keep on showing up. And they're showing up not just for themselves, they're showing up for countless other women who, quite frankly, we don't even know their names. And the bravery and the courage and the determination and not giving up. I mean, after all these years and after being so mistreated by the most powerful people in our country, I admire their courage and their determination, and they give me hope. They give me hope.
U.S. Congressman from the 2nd Congressional District of Massachusetts joins us every Thursday. If you've got a question for the congressman, be it a federal issue or a state issue, we'll try to figure out the best means of helping you out, and I will ask the congressman on your behalf. You can send the questions to thefab413@nepm.org. Thanks so much, Congressman.
All the best. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Up next, a bit of Holy Communion through song, and we'll introduce you to a new series at the Iron Horse called Happy Valley Bluegrass Church.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Dean's Beans Organic Coffee, a locally based, worker-owned company committed to social and environmental responsibility, roasting fair trade, organic, shade-grown coffee since 1993. DeansBeans.com. The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Northeast Solar in Hatfield, offering personalized solar energy solutions and ongoing customer care, proudly serving communities throughout the Pioneer Valley. Northeast-solar.com.
Welcome back to the Fabulous 413. This Sunday, February 15th, the Iron Horse is launching a new series anchored by Signature Sound's stellar in-house band, the Deep River Ramblers, called Happy Valley Bluegrass Church.
The idea is simple. Gather at the Iron Horse at 11 on Sunday morning. There will be coffee, we're told. There'll be screens on the stage displaying lyrics to some of your favorite old and new, easily singable songs. The Deep River Ramblers will lead the audience, who is the choir, through classic songs from a variety of genres like Hank Williams, Gillian Welsh, Woody Guthrie, Joni Mitchell, Stephen Foster, the Beatles, Ray Charles, and more. All are welcome and all are encouraged to sing.
And with us to talk more about this new series and to give us a taste of what it will be like are Jim Henry, Chris Bashir, and Annie Patterson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Our pleasure.
Sounds like my kind of church, but let's get into it with a song first.
All right.
All right, let's kick it on.
1, 2, 3. Oh, some bright morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a home on God.
No, it's not a Prairie Home Companion. Although we did sing along.
We were told
We were
to
told to
sing
sing.
No, you
along.
did great. You guys
Thank
did
you.
great.
It is Happy Valley Bluegrass Church and the Deep River Ramblers will be playing at this inaugural version of it, although I hear there may be more forthcoming.
Well, there's 2 more on the books. After
yeah,
this one.
and it's happening this Sunday at 11 at the Iron Horse in Northampton.
What was the impetus for this? Like, where did this idea come from?
It comes from, like all great ideas, it was borrowed. there's a out in Colorado at the E-Town. I don't know if you know.
Big fans of E-Town.
Those guys do occasionally they do a thing called the Hippie Bluegrass Church. And a friend of mine, Jamie Elkin, was out there and saw this. And when he came back, he said, "You know, Jim, we should try and do something like that out here." So it came from Colorado.
And a shout out to Jamie Elkin, who did reach out to us about all this and invited us to come to it and be a part of it and stuff. So, yeah, and thanks for helping to coordinate that. It is funny that I will say, in full disclosure, and poor Annie Patterson has heard this a million times, but I went camping with a bunch of hippie homeschool parents on Cape Cod, I don't know, 15 years ago. And all of them were singing along to all of these songs around the campfire that I had never heard of before. And I was like, what kind of cult am I a part of? But turns out I'm now fully ensconced in the cult of Annie Patterson and the book Rise Up Singing, which is an iconic songbook for people who want to do sing-alongs. And Annie is here playing too. So it's perfect that you are part of this cohort right here. But will you be part of the event on Sunday as well?
I will. It's an honor. I get to be an honorary rambler.
That's excellent. And shout out to Paul Kahansky, who could not join us and is a Deep River Rambler, but will be there on Sunday.
He'll be there on Sunday. Yep.
I mean,
That's what he says anyway.
hard to tell with him.
Cross those fingers, and we'll just send out into the universe that he'll be there. For other people who may not be familiar with Rise Up Singing, talk about this songbook and how important it is to getting communities to sing together and kind of have an even playing field of songs that they all can sing on.
Well, see, that's the ticket, the even playing field. It was a project we put together back in the late 80s, honestly, a long time ago, but it hit a nerve. And I think the reason was because it has been a resource. You know, it's great. It gives you a place to start. And then you can put the book down and then you can sing together or not. You know, it's just one of these things taken by our friend, our late friend, the iconic Pete Seeger. He helped us put Rise Up Singing on the map. And I think the point is community.
And the spirit behind that is going to be part of this Happy Valley Bluegrass Church on Sunday. And, you know, it is happening on a Sunday morning, which is traditionally when church happens. As somebody who grew up in the church and no longer attends,
right.
One of the things I miss most is the singing together. So
yeah, I was going to say, you've taken the best part about church.
Yeah, right.
And
you're going to do the peace be with you and also with you. I always love that part, too. When you just turn and show each other a sign
well,
of
and
peace.
the fact that the lyrics are going to be on a screen, it's going to make it very easy for people.
Right.
And, you know, the response has been amazing. People are very excited about this.
I did see there was a low ticket alert for this on the
Yeah,
Iron Horse website,
I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because people in this time, I think, need this kind of, even if they're not traditionally religious, need this type of spiritual.
Well, it's a community event, essentially. Yeah. And we're also I need to mention, we're also going to have, at all these events, we're going to have a poet come and read a little bit. This time we're going to have Jane Johnson, and we're going to have somebody come speak from a nonprofit or a community organization to talk a little bit. And this time we're going to have Eric Phelps from the Playing It Forward.
From the Iron Horse campaign?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Doubling down.
Yeah, we had them on the show yesterday talking about that. That's
well coordinated.
That's all right. Eric is a real community builder all over the area, and so it'll be nice to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. Well, let's hear another song like we might hear this Sunday at 11 at the Iron Horse for the inaugural Happy Valley Bluegrass Church from the Deep River Ramblers here in the fabulous 413.
Here's one that came to us from the Carter family. Darling, how can I stay here without you? I have nothing to cheer my poor heart. This old world would seem sad, love, without you. Tell me now that we never depart. Oh, I'll pawn you my gold watch and chain, love, and I'll pawn you my wedding ring. I will pawn you this heart in my bosom. Only say that you love me again. Take back all the gifts you have given, a diamond ring and a lock of your hair, and a card with your picture upon it. It's a face that is false, but it's fair. Oh, I'll pawn you my gold watch and chain, love, and I'll pawn you my gold wedding ring. I will pawn you this heart in my bosom. Only say that you love me again. All yours, Jim. Now tell me why that you do not love me. Tell me why that your smile is not bright. Tell me why you've grown so cold-hearted. Is there no kiss for me, love, tonight? Oh, I'll pawn you my gold watch and chain, love, sing with me. And I'll pawn you my gold wedding ring. I will pawn you this heart in my bosom. Only say that you love me again. Only say that you love me again.
That's the Deep River Ramblers, who are the house band for the first Happy Valley Bluegrass Church, which will happen this Sunday at 11 at the Iron Horse. Chris Brashear taking the lead vocals on that Carter family song right there.
Is there like a line, not a line, but like a saturation of like traditionally sacred and and secular songs that you're putting together for this?
Is there a line?
Yeah, or like a percentage, or I don't want to say percentage. It makes it sound like there's quotas that you have to hit, but that's not what I mean.
I'll tell you what, I think you look at who comes, and anybody who comes to something like this, doesn't matter what they believe, they get caught up in the spirit of a song. So we're hoping that's what we'll find. So it could be a song that's real gospel-y, or a song that's a John Prine tune, and hopefully we'll all feel the same kind of spirit.
Yeah, we have a song by Bob Marley. I mean, if it's singable, then we're going to do it.
I love it.
There we go.
It feels like what we were just talking about with Congressman
Best
Jim
church.
McGovern about that Buddhist monk walk, where there are people who you may not be Buddhists, but were so moved by this movement of peace that they were swept up in it. So it may be from a completely different tradition than you're from, but when you get together and are working towards peace in this way, there's something special about it.
Well, I know this is special because my kids are coming.
Wow!
Like
they could see you anytime, but they probably never
they
come
don't
out
care.
this kind of
They don't care about what I do most of the time. So,
but they're like, you're gonna let us sing. All right, we're in.
So there's a lot of like traditional folkies on here that Woody Guthrie and people like that. But can you think who might be the most contemporary artist that might be featured in this Happy Valley Group Bluegrass Church on Sunday?
Gillian Welsh, probably.
Okay, yeah.
She's pretty contemporary.
She's contemporary. She played the Iron Horse with David Rawlings last year.
I was there. That's right.
Nice. Well, why don't we tell everybody what's going to happen on the show tomorrow?
And then sing out.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
We'll all sing along on a third song.
Yeah. On the next Fabulous 413, we'll hear about the new plans for conservation and the ballot box of the Trustees of Reservations with its president, Katie Theoharides.
And we'll celebrate the quirks of love with a new film series at the Triplex Cinemas in Great Barrington.
Plus, the Power of History explores Marcus Garvey and his legacy with Professor Usman Power Green of Clark University.
The Deep River Ramblers are switching instruments right here, and they're going to play us out just like they will play for you when you sing along on Sunday at 11 o'clock at the Iron Horse for the inaugural Happy Valley Bluegrass Church. Annie Patterson, Chris Brashear, and Jim Henry. Take it away here on the Fabulous 413.
Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, and the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Here we go. Well, home, home on the range, and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Well, the red man was pressed from this part of the West. He's likely no more to return to the banks of Red River, where seldom, if ever, his flickering campfires burn. And home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. On a chorus. How often at night, when the heavens are bright with the light from the glittering stars, have I stood here amazed and asked as I gazed if their glory exceeds that of ours. One more time. And home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having us.
Oh, our pleasure.
Great.
Yahoo!
Yahoo!